In anticipation for what's going to happen this Saturday, it's the 24th right now of September, and on the 26th, Saturday, 26th of September, Trump said he was going to nominate a new candidate, and I believe for the Supreme Court, and I believe that this will result in a nomination and a pick, riots, but at least we'll have, well, I'm not from the US, but the US will have 9 Supreme Court justices. If there's a block when the election happens, which there will be, basically we won't know the results, I believe, and the Supreme Court can be there to at least make a couple decisions if things get very hairy. Now, this is what happened when Trump went to pay his respects for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. People booing him. He's literally paying his respects. Trump gets booed overlooking the casket of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg at the Supreme Court. RBJ's last words: "Apparently, my most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed." I call BS on that. Apparently, it's her daughter that told a news agency. Either they made it up or she made it up. What kind of wish? She knew what would happen. Like, what kind of wish is that? Until she didn't say until the election. She said until a new president. That's like another level. She wants Trump to not have the pick, apparently. I don't believe so. She's the Supreme Court. She knows what she's doing. Sorry, that's my phone. I should really shut that off. Let me... Oh, God damn it. Oh my God. It's gonna keep popping. I need to mute it. There we go. I should just always have it on mute, honestly. So yeah, let's see. Trump says he will announce Supreme Court pick on Saturday. President Trump will announce his nominee for the Supreme Court on Saturday at the White House, he tweeted. It will set off one of the most contentious confirmation processes in some time, with the Republicans looking to hold a vote on the eventual nominee before the November 3rd election. They have like 5 weeks. Over Democratic objection that it is too close to Election Day. Usually it takes 70 days to go through the process. They have like 40 days or 30 days, I think. It's just crazy. President told reporters Monday that he's weighing 5 different women to potentially fill the seat vacated by Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Trump is believed to be most seriously considering federal appeals court justice Amy Coney Barrett and Barbara Lagoa for the seat. Lagoa being a former Supreme Court justice Lagoa is a former Florida Supreme Court justice whose selection could boost Trump's electoral performance in the nation's largest swing state. I've heard a lot of things about Amy Coney Barrett. I believe she's moderate. I don't want to say anything. I don't know much. I should have researched more. But basically, this is not what I'm here to talk about. Whoever he chooses, people are going to riot over this because they don't want him to pick another conservative, tipping the court 6-3 for generations to come, shaping generations. So Ruth, notorious RBJ, rest her soul, an amazing person, an amazing woman, passed away on the 18th of September. And the issue with the timing of this is, let me see, this thing. So right now, and I don't know if you guys remember the Kavanaugh nomination, but they made the guy cry. They accused that Supreme Court nominee of literally gang girls, in like bringing girls, tying them up, and having guys come in and out of the room using them. Like, it's horrifying what they accuse him of. And the allegations, all of the allegations against him, instantly vanish when he was finally put through. They just vanished, like it didn't happen, like they had a political motive. I'm sorry if you can hear the asshole with apparently a hovercopter outside my house. What are these sounds? Like a hoverboard or something mowing the lawn at like 10 a.m. at 10 p.m. Anyway, so on November 3rd, because there's also been so much messing around with the USPS, we are going to get the most confused, befuddled election. Votes are being discarded, found in ditches and in like literally ditches at some point on besides a highway. There's videos. We have video confirmation of trucks just leaving mail in parking lots. Not ballots, but just mail. And if they do that with mail, like they'll maybe do that with ballots. The other thing is that apparently the U.S. Postal Service has contractors, random contractors, not federal employees, that handle federal state elections votes. That's just cray that the Democrats are pushing for all these like unsolicited ballots to be sent out, and apparently just fill them out, and like there's no confirmation or like there's no security measure. It's low integrity. Basically, they can't confirm if you're the person that's voting. Just bad all around. So what's going to happen is November 3rd, once we don't know what's happening, they have different deadlines by states, which is basically until December 12th to get the final result. Sorry, guys. There you go. Get their final results which is December, I guess, 12th, and it varies by state. So there's going to be a ton of lawsuits right there. It's going to delay things. And then on the 14th, state electors cast their ballots. The candidate with 270 or more wins. And then, like, what if we don't know? That's the thing. The Supreme Court needs to be there. So we'll come here. Who takes control if there's no presidential election this year? This was written in April 16th. But it's saying in the 20th Amendment, the terms of the president and vice president shall end at noon on January 20th. Nothing could be clearer. Yet the end of the paragraph provides that the terms of their successors shall then begin. But what if there's no successors have been elected, or what if it's a very contested election? Does the president continue to serve as interim holder? No. His term ends. So what happens? There's no solid answer in the Constitution, according to the Hill, Alan Dershowitz, who was, by the way, a professor emeritus at Harvard Law School, served on the legal team representing Trump during the Senate impeachment trial. Let's see. Where was I? So unlike when a president is impeached or dies, there's no set succession plan for a situation with no election or no clear election result. If there's no election, or it's muddled, there's no president-elect nor vice president-elect. Congress does provide for a line of succession to the White House if by death, resignation, removal from office, inability, or failure to qualify. But it does not appear to encompass the absence of an election or just we don't know. Like, if it just we don't know. Stuff is so messed up. They lost so many votes. So usually, however, they say if Congress has the authority to fill this gap in the Constitution, now, even if they have the authority to fill this gap in the Constitution, it's unclear that it has been done so with the existing law because the line of succession begins with the House Speaker. So it goes President, Vice President, and then House Speaker would become President if there was something. But there would be no House Speaker if there was no election. So yeah, what if the election for the House Speaker is contested, which is Nancy Pelosi, and what if she's the conservative just railroad them with court cases and slows everything down? Then basically what they say is If the succession law covers a missed election, it would be doubtful. Senator elected to serve as president pro term would become the next president. So the longest serving majority senator is traditionally handed the honor of serving as the president pro tempore of the chamber, so temporary president. Longest serving majority senator, which would be a Democrat if the election is too muddled, though I don't think this is quite the case here, because this is if there's no election, but there is going to be one. It's just most states that aren't definite, we're not going to know. Yeah, we can't have an interim president. It's going to be so bad. So by December 12th, if there's too many states that don't know, then there can't be a confirmation on January 6th by Vice President Mike Pence, because if we don't know if he's reelected, then we don't know. There's another article. How would a contested election work? 5 things to know. I found these a little bit enlightening. In the event of a close vote, state law determines how recounts work. So it's state by state. In 20 states and the District of Columbia, recounts are triggered automatically if the margin is below usually 1%. Only recounted when there's a tie in Alaska, South Dakota, and Texas. In 42 states, candidates themselves can seek a recount, though they have to pay for all or part of the cost unless there is a winner. But in a lot of states also, you can't request a recount. So it's very complicated, but that's why there's going to be a lot of lawsuits, because in 42 of them, you can. Losing candidates can go to court to contest the election also. So that's another thing. Not just recounts, but after the recount, you can sue. Say like, these people found votes randomly. This wasn't a clear process, a legal process, and thus they bring them to court. 3, the amount of time for recounts and contests in a presidential election is strictly limited. Back to here, December 12th. Deadline varied by state to certify election results. Safe harbor provision was a factor disputed. Yeah. So basically, you got 5. Let's see. The Constitution gives Congress authority to specify the day when each state's elector, those chosen in November, must meet and cast their votes. Congress has made that day the first day after the second Wednesday in December. Basically, it leaves 5 weeks and 6 days for each state to resolve any disputes over the election result through recounts and lawsuits. So this is including the lawsuits. Imagine a 5-week lawsuit. That's so fast. And it would be like 4 weeks because there's a recount. There's an even tighter deadline. The safe harbor provision says Congress must count a state's electoral votes if any disputes over who won are settled 6 days before electors meet. So if there's a settlement like for the recounts, then 6 days before the end, so basically only 5 weeks between the voting period and when the states must render their votes, the state has to recount the votes and come to the same result. Safe harbor provision was a factor in the disputed 2000 election between Gore and Bush, apparently. The court's decision said the Florida Supreme Court had ruled earlier that state legislature intended to take advantage of the safe harbor provision. That meant that the justices said that the recount issue could not be sent back for another round in court because time had run out. Congress decides whether to count votes from the state that misses the deadline. So the Congress decides. It's the House then that decides if the states are counted. And if the House is going Democrat, then the Democrats are gonna, probably go for it's fine, make it Democrat if it's winning, but not. And probably the same for conservatives too, Republicans, honestly. So honestly, it's just a big fuster. What the heck is happening, cluck? And I don't have any good outcomes for what's gonna happen, man. Like if Biden wins by a majority, I think that's the least violent outcome, by a huge majority. But then over the next year or two, the violence is gonna just escalate so crazily. And this is going to take like a couple, well, it's already been quick, but probably a couple months. If Trump wins by a landslide, there's going to be instant riots and organized crimes. I'm going to say it, like, well, allegedly. Because, man, Barr's going for treason for, like, these people now. Trying to get treason charges on some of these rioters. They're organized, man. And, like, if Trump wins by a landslide, yeah, there's going to be violence, but it's going to be temporary, and it's going to be clamped down on hard with law and order, which may not, it's going to be temporary violence, but it's going to be handled, I hope, with decency by the police, who've been demonized by the people now, by BLM for months and years, honestly. Police brutality videos are everywhere, super popular. And if there's any close in between election, between Trump or Biden winning, it's going to just be contested, and we're not going to know. We're just never going to find out, I think. And I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, one of them is going to have to go, I won. But the social media, I don't know if I can find this, but Facebook says we'll remove Trump winning tweet. Like, there we go. Facebook says it will reject political ads claiming election victory before results are declared. So, what did he say? If any candidate or campaign tries to declare victory before the results are in, we'll add a label to their post educating that official results are not in yet. Man, like, they're gonna railroad, and this has a left-leaning bias. Like, look at this QAnon. They don't organize violence. QAnon doesn't organize violence. The heck. Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens when Trump said about transferring power. He then questioned the legitimacy of mail-in ballots and predicted he'd win. There won't be a transfer, frankly, there'll be a continuation. I like his confidence, but he should have answered the question, honestly. He should have said yes, obviously. It's just like, I think it's his ego getting in the way. But, man, like, we'll reject political ads that claim victory before the results are in. Man, they're going to ban him. They're going to ban anything he says, and then they're going to contest it. That's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, I'll see you guys there. I tried to make a shorter video, but apparently I can go under like 15, 20 minutes. See you guys later.